Hello. How are you? Give me one sec. Organised as always. How you doing on this fine, what day is it? Tuesday. I have no idea what's going on. How are you? Anyway, hi. Troublemakers, dissidents, homeless people, grifters, masturbators. Anyway, hello. Welcome. So I've renamed this. I've decided that I'm just going to call it Téasplaining, seeing as that seems to be the thing that happens more than anything. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to try and explain stuff. And I'll fail. Téasplaining, it's a fun play on the mansplaining concept, which is someone who has no idea talking to people as if they do. It's great. Anyway, so I'm Téasplaining. That's the Daily Show. The vote is still a thing. But I think it's just, giving things names helps people this helps set expectations, which I can then promptly dash and destroy. Anyway, okay. So Netflix. Let's get that off. Let's get that off the fucking thing, shall we? Hang on. Let me just look. I'm seeing myself in 3 screens. I'm going to turn off the preview on OBS. One sec. There we go. Better. Not distracting. Okay. So I love Netflix, and this is very disappointing. Okay. Now, I'm not one of those people that will just call boycott, right? I'm not one of those people, right? I understand that on platforms, there's going to be one thing about streaming platforms is that there's a wide range of content for all sorts of audiences. And I am firmly 100% of the view that if you don't like it, don't fucking watch it. You don't try to cancel it, right? That's not what I'm saying. So I love Netflix. I love the wide variety. I love the fact that Netflix are doing more inclusive content, better stories, telling different perspectives, all that stuff, right? That's one thing I've said, I think, a few times, which is that, despite all this sort of wokery shit going off the fucking deep end, I think there is a net gain in culture when it comes to, more stories getting told, more diversity. Is tokenism inclusion? Yeah, but it's good and I like it, right? I've talked about this before. You wouldn't, without this woke stuff, right? You wouldn't get things like Atypical. You wouldn't get Orange is the New Black. You wouldn't get, all of these great fucking things where they include, like, there's more voices being told, right? There's a great, what was it? There's a great show about the kid, the kid that's a superhero. I can't remember what it was, but he wouldn't have gotten a look in. He would have been a white kid if, all these things, right? We know there's a problem of representation. So I'm not talking about representation, okay? Let's just be clear. But what I do have a problem with is propaganda, and specifically the retconning of characters in the Babysitters Club, including something like the idea that a child can be trans and buying into the fantasy that, okay, look, I can't show you the video because, I don't want to, I first of all don't want to, it's just icky. Look it up. Look up the clip from the Babysitters Club about the kid who is given blue scrubs, right? This is how fucking, how regressive this movement is. Kid laying in the hospital bed. It's just cringy. It's just cringy, right? It's not even well written. That's the problem, right? There's ways to have these stories without it being overt propaganda. But there's a kid in a hospital bed, right, laying there. And, first of all, the misgendering by the doctor is so over the top. It's ridiculous. Nobody operates like that, right? No normal person does, right? But this kid gets a blue hospital gown and says, I don't want the blue one. I want a pink one. I've been in hospital a lot and I've never fucking had an issue. Can I be honest? If you're laying in a hospital bed and worried about the fucking color of your gown, you shouldn't be in that fucking hospital bed. You're not sick enough, mate. Okay. First up, hospital gowns are not meant, they're not there for fucking whatever. What the fuck? I just can't believe it, right? I just cannot believe that passes as good fucking writing. Like reality, this has to be. If they had done something that was based in reality, it would be fun. It was like, yeah, it's just fucking. It's so funny. It's so bad. Anyway, so, and again, we need to be able to talk about this without this fucking the shield, right? You can't be untouchable. We need to be able to push through and have these conversations about the fact that it's just badly written. It's got nothing. I'm not a bigot just because I think that it was badly done and propaganda and fucking just insane. Like, if you want to see that scene, right? And the doctor just insists on calling him he. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that doctors wouldn't do that, first of all. And second of all, it's the one scenario where biological sex is kind of important, because if a boy has tummy pain, it might be in his pee-pee. Okay? Good. So, I can't believe I'm talking about the like the reboot of the Babysitters Club. I loved the Babysitters Club growing up, and I loved that like different stories got told. That's what I find frustrating. I'm not going to use the N word. Nuance. I hate that fucking word. That's the unprecedented of the second half of July of 2020. The word nuance, right? But it is. It's very clear that there's a nuance to this fucking like this issue, okay? Which is that if you're going to do that kind of storyline, at least try to have it anchored in reality and a real situation, not shoehorn it in, okay? For like propaganda. Now, that's my side point. Thing is, I could talk about that scene and how regressive it is. Again, I don't have a problem with it, right? There's a whole bunch of bullshit, woke shit that I hate on there, and I don't watch it. I go, no, I'm just going to sit and watch stand-up comedy and, see if Jim Jeffries went off the deep end. He hasn't, by the way. We got him back. Thank fuck. He was going a bit woke there for a while, but I think we've got him back. But anyway, I'm saying, like, watch, don't watch, right? I very much believe you don't like this, what I'm saying, fucking don't watch it. Don't put put ads on it. Take your ads off it, but let others watch it and put ads on it if they want to. That's where we are, right? Now, the reason why I'm canceling my Netflix account, and I don't want to, is because it's the only way to make your point known, which is that what Netflix did, again, I'm not going to show the screenshots. Go look. I'm on my Twitter account. I might put links in the description if I can be asked. I always forget to go back and do the fucking. If anybody of my like frequent fans wants to sit and do timestamps or fucking descriptions or whatever, then like I would love that. I could do with the help, but I'm just saying, right, I don't have time. Anyway, if I remember, I'll try to put links. Otherwise, just look on my Twitter account. I've shared this, and on Facebook, which is that Netflix had one of their like it's a full-blown sort of activist type, but they're actually pretty foul, right? They're actually like I can't even repeat what was said, but they're basically just, threatening J.K. Rowling. They're full on, just everything. If you just imagine the stereotype and it's there, right? It's a dude with a dick, and then sort of tweeting about the Babysitters Club episode, about how, all this fucking stuff and blah, blah, blah. Again, not an issue. But Netflix, the fact that you are allowing and platforming this person who has expressed violence towards women, right, encourages violence towards women, and is also just a sexual fucking creep, just a creep, right? It's just gross. And again, it's not a conservative thing to not want someone. They're not jokes. They're just gross, and it's perverted, and it's like, it's just bad business. Like, what is going on? It's one thing to like support all sorts of content, right? Again, I've said that they're separate things, but to then you have someone who is extremely unpalatable, extremely awful, right? A fairly violent individual. I would imagine that they probably fantasize about hurting women. No, let's hazard. Let's just fucking. It's not a leap, right? So as a woman, as a mother, as somebody who is in control of the purse strings when it comes to things like subscriptions and in control of the things that my children watch, it's one thing to have propaganda. Again, I just tell my kids, don't watch that. It's fucking propaganda. Or I explain what that means. All right, have a conversation. That's cool. More conversation is good. Okay. But for Netflix to then turn around and have their brand account, they need to, with no vetting of who this person was, right? What they get up to, the fact that J.K. Rowling has been receiving the most disgusting threats. Again, it's mostly bots, but at the same time, like some of them are coming from real people. Netflix has a responsibility to make sure that they're not adding fuel to the fire that actually, basically puts a rubber stamp on this anti-turf violence stuff, okay? And that's what they've done. And so for me, as much as I would like to tweet back at the brand team, or, I would actually try other avenues if I could, right? I don't know anybody at the Netflix brand team. That's the problem, right? Normally I've actually done this a few times on the sly, and I have called them because I know that most fucking companies, the 22-year-old juniors, the junior marketers, and they've got KPIs, and they go, oh, wouldn't it be good if we just got a trans woman to like live tweet this fucking Netflix show? And they don't think any further than that. They just virtue signaling to meet their fucking quarterly shit, right? I don't know. I don't think that Netflix, I don't know. Sorry, the chats aren't coming up. Hang on a second. Give me one hot minute. Should come up now, hopefully. Anyway, so Judith said, so the creepy towards kids, right? I tend to dance because I'm trying to keep my nose clean and not sort of there we go. Oh, fuck. All right, here we go. So all the chats are going to start to show up. Okay, anyway. Okay, sorry about that. It's probably going to fucking just start going off. Tech disasters. Anyway, but Netflix did not vet. I don't know, but if they did, that's even worse, right? I believe the person works for Netflix as a content person, and maybe they're not across sort of the more sinister stuff. But I know how this would have gone down with their brand team, right? Which was that they would have sat down and gone, hey, we need a trans person to do this. Okay, who here does, freelancer, or because most of them actually, they don't have in-house staff really. They use a lot of contractors. Like that's one thing a lot of people don't know is that tech companies, what they do is they tend to use subcontractors of subcontractors of subcontractors, and then they can say, oh, they've done work for Netflix. So I don't know if they're a Netflix employee. I haven't confirmed that. I'm not your news. I'm just talking about stuff. So I don't need to be fact checked. I'm just having a conversation, and it's kind of a side point. The point is that Netflix appear to have either endorsed this person or not vetted something, which shows a lack of awareness around this conversation. They're not aware of the other side of this conversation and how that is received, especially when it comes to women. And that's something that we need to just. That's sorry, I got distracted. That was the fucking thing that I was trying to say, is that they're not going to listen. So basically what they would do is, first of all, they're probably all juniors, probably just a brand team of fucking idiots, right? And like a director's so busy, they're so stretched, so thin, they just go, yeah, go on, get this. Okay, that's fine. Good idea. Virtue signal, blah, 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 whatever. If it has a net gain in the numbers, if we get some subscriptions out of it, or some positive, it's not about the subscriptions, but so much. It's basically, if you can fucking justify it with the numbers, you can do it, right? There's fucking cult capital in pandering to this fucking mob, right? But we need to be a bigger mob, and that's the point. And we need to be a bigger mob that is willing to withdraw our money. And that's the thing, right? I'm not a fan of cancel culture. This is a good old fashioned withdrawal of like support, right? Which is different to canceling somebody. I'm not going to call Netflix. I'm not going to insist that they fire that person. I'm not going to, harass them. I'm not going to do anything other than say, I don't support what you've done. You've done a bad decision. You made a bad decision, and I'm going to withdraw my money. And here's why. And that's why, and Netflix, when you cancel your subscription, you can give a reason. And I think a few people have already done this, which is to say, this person, like, your brand account endorses violence against women. Okay. And, it's not that, again, no one gives a fuck about my, $17 a month. But at the same time, I think it's one of those things, excuse me, where you need, again, I like Netflix. I feel bad. I feel fucking annoyed about this. But it's literally the only thing because, all right, so brand team, they would have actually just gone, let's just get this person on without vetting, without thinking about it. They've done it before. They just go, oh, yeah, token trans, fucking virtual signal, blah, 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 right? But they would have gone, that person would have said, oh, all of the transphobic hate speech that I'm going to get, you're going to get transphobic hate speech. You're going to get lots of fucking transphobic hate speech and all the TERFs and fucking rah, rah, rah. So they believe, so they're already sort of prepped and primed for sort of that pushback, right? Because they know that the flack's going to happen. They know on Twitter they're going to get ratioed, but because that's the narrative. The narrative is that the most vulnerable people in the world who somehow have access to every major corporation and every fucking major Twitter account and somehow get the shield of Twitter and don't, the most oppressed people in the world, white men, get a platform. That's fucking, my brain just disappeared on me. Anyway, so they don't care. So they're prepared for that pushback. They're prepared for the ratio. Now, how marketers think, okay, you got to remember this is educational. There's always a bit of education here, which it's not positive or negative. All right. I talked about this the other day with Twitter. Is engagement up? Are ads up? Are subscriptions up? Right? It's all about the numbers. The KPIs for Netflix are not about whether they fucking get positive or negative polarized content, right? That's polarization in marketing. It's easy. Like you just got to know your audience. The thing is, they haven't read the room with this one, right? And so you got to make sure that you know your audience enough and all that sort of stuff. So they're prepared, but in the strategy, sorry, my brain's fucking cactus today. I'm tired, but. So what they would have done, they would have weighed this up sort of a little bit, at least a little bit. But in marketing land, they don't give a fuck whether the sort of the pushback is negative or positive for the most part. All of it is engagement. It's all about using controversy to your advantage is a good thing. You want a good campaign always has a certain amount of flack attached to it, right? But so they just sit there and go, oh, well, we got high engagement. What are our engagement? My engagement's up. Like when I get hate, I go, oh, yeah, fuck it. My engagement's up. I don't give a fuck. It means better people talk about me than not at all, right? That's the mindset of marketing, is that you're just feeding the machine. But, right, if they cross a line, so if you start losing subscriptions, for example, that's where it starts to hurt. Now, so if you reply to Netflix and tell them off, they're going to go, oh, yeah, okay. First of all, okay, thank you for your transphobia. Because remember, they're all children. They're all fucking morons, man, okay? They're just going to, there's nothing you can say that's going to change their mind and make you think that you're not a bigot, okay? There's nothing that you can really say. They're just going to go, that's this whole built-in narrative, this fucking, this Kafka trap that you can't get out of, this circular reasoning, which is that all criticism is transphobic, and anybody who has anything to say is transphobic or alt-right or all of that shit, right? And that's just the narrative. It's fucking like a cult, right? You can't penetrate it, but what you can do is that person's boss is going to go at the end of this quarter is going to say, okay, our subscription's up or down. Okay. The engagement based on the positive or negative sentiment. Okay. Well, what's the numbers? How's the numbers? That's why you have to cancel your Netflix subscription, even if it's just for a few months. Okay. Because what it does is it gives them a signal on their fucking PowerPoint to their boss that they fucked up. Okay, so you need to be able to walk the walk, right? You need to be able to walk the walk. And this one's an unfortunate one because I really do love it. However, this is just one of those things where they can't continue to do this and they're not going to take the criticism from Twitter. They're not going to take that feedback. They don't give a fuck. They only care whether subscriptions are up or down. That's all they care about, right? And if you can't go without Netflix, at least downgrade them, okay? Downgrade to the basic plan and then give them feedback and say that I'm giving you less money. So that's another compromise position as well, which is that I'm going to give you less money, right? There's other ways to do these things. Or make sure that you tell everybody who has Netflix that they should cancel it if they can, right? Some people can't cancel it. Like some people just need that Netflix subscription for various reasons, right? I'm hesitant because I've got 4 kids and they're fucking, but you know, we've got Stan and Prime and there's all these other options, right? So, so Judith then asked if it, hi, Freaky Ret Star. And Judith asked, is that a gas mask on my wall behind me? No, it is a psycho mask from Borderlands 3, my favorite game. I love the psycho game. Anyway, it's a psycho mask. I'm a bit of a nerd. What was I going to say? I can't remember. I'm fucking like, I haven't had enough coffee. But remember, right? I think if there's one thing I can do, I was talking about this yesterday. I think I've got a bit more of a direction with this stuff, which is I can show you how the sausage is made in the fucking bullshit factory, right? I worked in a bullshit factory most of my life. I know how this works. And one thing that I know with Netflix is that their brand team is probably like, I'm imagining they didn't think it through. I think a lot of these places, they're just not thinking and they're just going, oh, okay. Well, before we give this person access to our brand account with how many million followers? Was it 15 million or something ridiculous? Maybe we should check their tweets or ask someone. See, the thing is, and this is why it's very important, I think a lot of people just don't know the culture wars are going on as well. I think a lot of people are just ignorant to it. Like when you want to do a campaign, this is the thing that's frustrating me, right? Is that even if you have a particular sort of point of view in terms of brand management and all that sort of stuff, right? You at least do some sort of risk assessment, right? So you really should know. You really should know before you do it. It's astonishing how big brands are filled with idiots who don't know how to do marketing. Like it's almost they don't even know basic fucking marketing, and they're in charge of accounts with millions of followers, and they don't even. It's like it's just where are all the Can I just rant in general, which is what you're here for? Which is where the fuck are all the seniors? All the senior people, the senior designers, the senior product developers, the senior developers, the senior AI people, the fucking senior journalists, the editors, producers. Where are all the seniors? Where are the adults? Okay, I've been in this business for 20 years, and the basic plan that you do with a campaign is a risk analysis. At that level, you always will. I can't believe this got sign off from a director. Like, how the hell did that actually even happen? That's what I want to know. Netflix needs fucking some stakeholders that are across. This is why I'm defending Patreon, because one thing that Patreon do in their hiring policy is that they include diversity of. This is why diversity of thought is just as important as any other markers, because if I'd had that brand team reporting to me, right, even if I agreed with the strategy, which I didn't, bad strategy, right? You can polarize, but not fucking. There's no like, what the fuck? If that came across my table to sign off on, remember they would have had to have asked for fucking money or support or sign off. Someone would have had to have signed off on that, right? And if you're on Twitter and know anything about the fucking current landscape, you wouldn't have done that. It's too risky. And it's just like, oh my God, like how fucking retarded are these marketers, right? Oy. Over a different, hang on, sorry a second. So if it was done over a different topic, left-leaning person had a profile that bad, it would hit the news. Yeah. Again, fucking shield. You can't, it's like, you can't, yeah. So, and the only way Netflix will listen is bottom line. because again, this whole cult psychology thing is fucking, oh my God, they've just infiltrated everywhere. And I can't believe that there's no, this is the thing that I find it bewildering that there's no senior at Netflix that went, maybe we should check. Or maybe this is too divisive. Like, okay, all right, here's another angle. Here's something where I could give Netflix a bit of credit, right? Which is that they're willing to take risks. Like a lot of my career has been that they just won't touch certain things. Like that's part of the reason why I quit a lot of this corporate shit and got frustrated, was because I couldn't actually do anything. Like it was all just stock imagery, smiling women with salad and yogurt. Like they didn't take any risks. I think they unwittingly, they didn't read the room. I just didn't read the room. It's pretty funny. But props to Netflix for trying. But at the same time, like fucking hell, would you hire a senior marketer? Is this what's happened? Is that marketers? Oh, well, yeah. I mean, marketers are pretty dim to begin with. But in general, it's not the degree of geniuses. Let's put it that way. But it's marketing is not the occupation for the bright, right? Or the people who question the world, right? Market. If you feel like you're passionate about marketing without worrying that you're fucking evil, or that what you're doing is actually matters, then you're not that bright, okay? Because it's fucking inherently evil. Anyway, so, but I just find it quite funny. But yes, the only way that you're going to get any traction, they're not going to listen. They're just going to see the engagement, right? They're not going to see anything other than engagement and built in. It's all just fucking alt-right transphobic tweets. Like that narrative, like that Chrissy Teigen has and all those sorts of people where they're just like, oh, they're all trolls. So no, some people actually just think you're an idiot. That's the mentality. Once you're in that sort of everyone who attacks me is a troll mindset, it's not going to, they're just going to write everyone off as bots, right? Especially if you've got all the fucking emojis in your fucking username. Stop that. You look like bots. But what was I going to say? Yeah, but by cancelling your subscription or downgrading it or whatever. So that's what I'm going to do. As much as it's going to hurt, I just won't watch Netflix for a while and reevaluate, see if they reevaluate and see if they come back to us. Maybe they will. But it's pretty funny. Women, cancel your Netflix. People who care about women, cancel your Netflix. And also look into it. Don't take my word for it. Okay, I'm saying if you think that it was appropriate, then fine. But I've had a Netflix subscription while I was an early subscriber, right? Because I was working with someone who worked with Netflix early on when it was like in the mail. So I had a US subscription through the VPN and the 90210 postcode subscription from fucking, I think it was 2010. It was pretty early. So that's a long time that I've been a Netflix customer, and I'm cancelling it. So anyway, that's all you can do. You see people dropping off, and when you do cancel, write why and tell them why. And hopefully the person's supervisor sees all of that feedback and they learn from it. Again, I'm not saying to fire people. I'm not saying to cancel people. That's not what this is about. It's about making them reevaluate and put in a better process to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Make sure that they vet their fucking people and realize that they're in an ideological bubble, right? It's just they're going to lose. Get woke, go broke, as they all say, right? Oh, my God. Did you see what happened with A&E? Oh, my God. They cancelled their whole show, their whole channel is like police shows. So they went and cancelled the police shows, and now their primetime viewership is like 50% down or something ridiculous. It's like, you morons, fucking morons, idiots. Oh, I'm actually looking at more. I'm looking forward to seeing all of the quarterly reports starting to come out from all the entertainment places that went full fucking crazy woke, because it's not good. The numbers aren't good, and they're going to blame COVID, right? But they can't. But TV and streaming services can't blame COVID, right? Because everyone's at home and everyone is like, it's actually up, right? Ratings and everything are just generally up across the board. So it's just quite amusing. It's quite funny to see them just fucking commit hurry on their own fucking brands. But there's an opportunity here too. I think that there's going to be opportunities for new services to, free speech streaming. I'd love to do something like that at some point where it's like, nope, all the content. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, and it's good to say. So Judith said I might write to Netflix and tell them I won't be subscribing, and I think that it's just a good idea. I think that people have made the CEO's email available. Fucking email the CEO from Netflix and say, this is why, right? This is why I'm not doing it. So you have a voice, but don't be dicks about it, okay? Just make sure that you say, right, like it's one thing. Because if you end up saying all of your trans I've seen people fucking saying, oh, it's like trans shit. It's like, yeah, it's not about the issue. It's about the responsibility that Netflix has as a platform to allow for all voices and opinions to be heard, and for others, especially ones where we are on the receiving end of threats on a daily basis, that we make it very clear that Netflix know what they're endorsing and supporting, right? That's just basic, your good old-fashioned boycott. That's it. And I'm not saying that we've got power. We never have power, but if you have a Netflix subscription, question it, you know? So anyway, what are we talking about? I'm going to go, or have we got questions? So hello, CK, Judith N, Freaky Red Star, Lisa Cope. Who else have we got? Turfy McTurfface, best username. Megan Wisdom. Wow, I've got quite a few people here. Awesome. Hi. Philip's here. Hello. No one is watching our shows because, hang on, what did Philip say? No one's watching our shows because they are watching someone's content because COVID. Yeah. Like, yeah, because COVID. Yeah. Yep. I know. I'm milking that fucking excuse too. I know how people work. If there's a loophole, people will fucking take it. Oh God. It's just funny that I think people give corporate marketing teams too much credit as well. Like, they don't realize how under-resourced, like, they hire juniors. And also a lot of these corporate marketing teams, they don't like people who challenge. They like people who can just be dictated to and shuffle papers around, and they go from meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting. Like, seriously, as a digital agency, like, it's amazing. Like, they have, like, for one fucking campaign, they'll have 5 different agencies working on different parts. They're so inefficient, so incredibly inefficient and dumb. And like, it's amazing that this fell through the cracks. So do try to be understanding. There's more of a sort of systemic thing going on with this, but we got a bit of a delay happening. That's all right. But yeah, anyway, it's pretty funny. So anyone else got any comments? Otherwise I'll go. I don't have much to say today. I thought we'd just talk about Netflix and shoot the shit. And I'd Téasplain some shit, but I don't have, I like to just have like, doing lots of likes and ums and you-knows today. I'm aware of that. Sorry. Some days are more ADD than others. What are we doing? Okay. You're all only 40 minutes. Yeah, I know, right? Only 40 minutes. It's just a quick one. But yeah, anyway, dude, I just wanted to explain. I like to just have a chat and talk about stuff. This isn't really a call to action or anything, but do think about it. But also just think about how you engage with Netflix and stuff, because it's very easy to look like a bot right now. It's very easy to look like you're a hater. But if you're actually a subscriber with a real name and go, hey, like the history of this person that you allowed to take over your Twitter account is less than savory. And given what they're actually talking about, which is a very divisive issue, you might want to read the room a bit better, Netflix, because, there's a lot of people who are very upset by this, and not for the reasons that you think, okay? None of us are saying that trans kids don't suffer, but that was just blatant, so fucking sexist bullshit, right? Okay. So, Madame Teapot. Thanks, Judith. Freaky Red Star. I was ready for an hour and a half. I know, right? I'm not. Cancel Twitter as well. No, but it's not. I don't even believe that. I just think that they don't know what they're doing. They're kids. Or they're fucking adults who identify as kids. It's like there's some major fucking arrested development going on here, right? But I see things differently, having worked with these things, which is that they can be fixed, right? They can have better process. They just need more diversity in the room. This is the real diversity problem that we've got, which is diversity of thought and perspective and age. Okay, like I've said this before, at Twitter, if they had me in the room, I'd have said, no, don't do that. That's probably going to piss more people off than it fucking... It's like, they're just, yeah. Anyway, whatever. It's ridiculous. I'm just going to focus on the systems and try to explain how shit works. There's no point. But yeah, Twitter is a fab tool into seeing how the autocrats work. Exactly. I love going into Idiocracy Twitter. It's fucking amazing. Like, it's like perfect specimens. Like, I find it interesting more than I don't want Twitter to be cancelled, right? And Parlay is stupid. Don't fucking whatever. Just behave yourselves. Don't be bots. Okay? You'll be fine. Know the rules, obey the rules, fucking dance around the rules. If you get cut, then so what? Okay, until they sort themselves out, which I hope they will, right? Yeah, they will. They do want to be better. Their ad revenue's down 22% this quarter. They're going to have the fucking riot act read to them at some point. At some point, someone's going to join the dots and go, oh, all right. Okay, it's just because it's an election year. They're fucking trying their best, and they all anti-Trump. But it'll sort itself out. Trust me. I have a feeling that there's going to be a number of people who will see woke shit as unprofitable, and when they see that, right? If you look at who makes up the Twitter board, you'll start to see, right? The COO is also from Salesforce. It's hedge funds are on the board. It's people who fucking, like, this will end. It will end. Eventually, they will realize that there's no money in it. Everyone will cancel their shit. Right? Yes, I would actually. Philip, I would pay for a subscription to Twitter if they would verify me, and if that guarantees me a level of protection from things like being banned. So then there's actually, because in a contract, when money changes hands, you actually do have like a contract, and so part of that contract would be two-way, right? Which is that I get verification, I tweet under my real name, I sign up to their code of conduct, and all of those sorts of things, right? That's fine. There's certain responsibilities. Free speech does not mean the right to be an asshole to everybody, okay? It's like, it doesn't mean you can just harass everybody. That's not what free speech is, bros, all right? It's the ability to it's freedom of expression. Everywhere except America, it's freedom of political speech and freedom of expression. Parlay is ridiculous and stupid, and the UX is awful. And also it's full of fucking, like, I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't use it. It's just me. No, I pay for Twitter. I love Twitter. That's why I fight so hard to fucking try and save Twitter. I know how to fix it. If you've watched I don't know if you watched my previous videos, but I've talked quite at length about how to save Twitter. They won't fucking listen. They've got termites, which is the PPC model, right? They fucked up. They used the wrong model to begin with. It should have been a subscription service for verification. That's where they went wrong. And micropayments for the right to DM and reply to celebrities and stuff, and for fans to interact, like the super chat works on YouTube. Like that functionality on Twitter would work really well. And again, don't remove the ability to create like sock and whatever accounts, but also allow people, you could just have a freemium model. You got the dumpster fire, and then you've got the sort of ad free experience, and you create an experience that's good enough, people will pay X number of dollars a year. I would pay that because it's a marketing expense. It's good. I like Twitter, so I happily pay for Twitter. But for me, it makes strategic sense to be on Twitter because I'm building an audience and all that sort of stuff, and I'm networking. I use it for networking and all of that sort of stuff. So of course I would. If I imagine, and also it is built in that I imagine that there's very few people that would pay money to just talk to say half the shit they say on Twitter. maybe that's a good. So super chat. If you're watching on YouTube, Judith, the super chats where you can give money. There's a little dollar sign on the right-hand side of the chat, and now I've got that. I don't fucking whatever, but I've got that, and you can basically give money to the person in real time on the stream, so as a donation or whatever. All right, so it's good, but what it does is it bumps on a feed, on a chat, whatever that's busy, you'll see that the super chats sort of get prominence, so you get higher prominence and ranking and all that sort of stuff. So it's really it's a way to it's a good model to monetize and reward good content and do that sort of stuff, right? What was I going to say? But yeah, so like with Twitter, it'd be like it was built on fans connecting with celebrities and talking to each other in communities, right? And there's two ways to fix it. Micropayments in order to engage with the blue check, done. Not just the blue check shutting it down, but the blue check actually able to monetize their Twitter presence, right, and receive micropayments. And so you get bumped in the feed. So it's actually more of the way that Twitter have done a lot of this experience design, which is that they've sort of demoted toxic content. They really should have monetized good content. Right. So, or monetized and bumped, sort of that sort of stuff. So at least if you're going to receive abuse or whatever, they got to pay for it. Right. It's more of a positive incentive rather than a negative one. And I think they would have made a lot more money that way. I did the maths on it and everything. I remember doing the calculations. And what I thought for verification was that verification was a sliding scale based on your number of followers and all of that sort of stuff. So say Ricky Gervais, someone like, or Kim Kardashian or those sorts of people, because they've got millions of followers and they make a lot of money from Twitter, that they would pay more per year because it's a marketing cost for them, right? But people like me would pay something like $50 a year, right? And it sort of slides up, because there's got to be a sort of sliding scale there, because then if you've got to keep your followers clean because you're paying for the number of followers, so you wouldn't be able to go and buy 2 million followers like many people do, if you do, then so it's all kind of, there's lots of positive and negative like incentives across the board. You could really fix Twitter. You really could with some simple changes. It might require a bit of a shift, but I think that would have been a better fucking move. But again, where are the seniors? Where are the senior UX designers? PPC model, dead. That's the problem. We've got to kill that fucking thing. So, Taya, last night on Q&A, they had an economist who wants us to open up and damn the COVID consequences. They didn't reveal that she's a libertarian. What's wrong with being a libertarian? I am. I don't understand. She can have that opinion. I don't believe in censoring people's opinions based on whether I agree with them or not. I think she's boneheaded and I think she's an idiot, and I think they shouldn't have probably wasn't terribly responsible of them. But it's a valid view. I think that anybody who has, I do think that lockdown is something that is easier for the rich. It's easier for those who are self-employed. It's easier for those who aren't reliant on hand-to-mouth employment. And we've got a government that hasn't put in UBI or anything that's even remotely adequate to allow people to lock down. So, I don't know. I think it's complex, and I think that there's a valid case to be made for the fact that I don't know. Yeah. that there's a valid argument there. Whether I agree with it or not, I don't know. It's complicated. I think that I can lock down forever. I live basically a lockdown lifestyle. But there's people who fucking can't live like that. And if the government's not going to give them enough income to live, then they're going to be negatively impacted by that. Right? Businesses, restaurants, and everything are closing. I empathise with that, and I can see how if you're losing everything, you're going to feel like this lockdown is unfair. This is a policy problem. This is a problem where they should have said, okay, everyone, blanket. If you want to lock everyone up, you got to fucking make sure that they're fed and watered and looked after. Okay, that's all. But whether or not but an economist, yeah, of course she's an economist. That's the economic argument. The economic argument is that this thing is tanking the economy and the government's handling it badly. There's no moral argument there. That's the economic one. So I don't know. I think that we just, again, there's no, this is where binary thinking gets you in trouble across the board. And I know we're friends, but I'm just saying I'll still challenge you. I'm saying it's complicated, and people are entitled to their view, and there's a valid argument there. There's especially from an economist, and it's tanking the economy. The government's handling it badly, and people are hurting, and of course they're going to want that to happen. Do I think it's clever? No. Do I think the government policy should be different? Yeah. Do I think you should put the incentives in to keep people, sheltering in place? Yeah. But I don't understand the. But yeah, she's a libertarian. Of course, that's a libertarian economics argument. I'm not surprised by that, so I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm just, I don't like this idea that we can't have a fucking idea that we disagree with anywhere. So anyway, I think, is that it? Oh, thanks. Philip gave me $2. Awesome. He's showing us super chats. Thank you for your education. That's very kind. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Is there anything else? No, I think we're good. So there we go. Nearly hit the hour for you after all that. I was almost going to go for 40 minutes there. But I will be back tomorrow. I'm thinking of doing a later stream tomorrow so that UK and stuff can join, because a lot of people, it's like, it's 3:00 in the morning in the UK. So I've got to keep my UK peeps happy. I'm going to try and get more of a reliable schedule happening. But yeah, whatever. We'll get there. Okay. Oh, Philip said, hang on. All right then. So I will hang on then. What's going on here? Have you got a question? All right. So how does this work? Talk amongst yourselves. How's the book? I've been busy this week. It's going well. But I'm not really happy with everything. So it's a bit harder, this one, because it's now started. I have to do a lot more research. But I have to, I've got to get my shit together. I've been in research mode as well. So I'll get there. Maybe a week from, not a week, a couple of weeks. I'll get chapter 2 out. I've shuffled some stuff around as well. So, all right. So I think that this is an awkward silence. So what's going on here? Okay. So I'm going to go. I don't know what Philip's doing. I can't just like hold a stream and sit here looking at the camera. Okay. Hindsight. Lockdown. The most vulnerable, oldies and sick, and telecommute for the teachers and such, and let people make their own choices. Well, I also believe that a lot of people are fucking morons. So it's just complicated. Yeah, there's a real lag here. I think I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go. So this was a clusterfuck of a stream. They're not all good. They're not all perfect, but that's okay. What were we talking about? Netflix. Oh, yeah, that thing. Anyway, I'm going to go. I love you. Thank you for watching. Don't stay out of trouble. Actually, stay out of trouble. Stay out of trouble. Don't stay out of trouble. Good kind of trouble. And I will talk to you tomorrow. I'm going to go. Thank you for your precious life seconds. I'm thinking that I will do an evening stream my time. So like 6 o'clock-ish, right? Because we're 7 hours ahead of the UK. So that gives them the ability to sort of get their shit together and watch me if they want. So I'm going to go again. You hang up. No, you hang up. Thank you for your precious life seconds. If you want to be a patron, do that. I still don't understand why, but whatever, do that. I will talk to you tomorrow. So thank you to Philip, Lisa, Freaky Red Star, Judith, CK. I don't know who else is. I can't see. I also don't know who watches me on Periscope. So if you watch me regularly on Periscope and I don't acknowledge you because you're just watching without commenting, do just DM me or contact me and stuff, because it is nice to know that people are watching. I can't see the fucking analytics, so it drives me nuts, because it's like it's people that I know watch my stream and I go, oh yeah, I forgot that you watch, because I can't see the analytics. So unless I can only see if you comment. So, but I'm thinking of, so Room 101 said the obvious, which is lockdown idea is not to overload the hospital system. We know. We get it. So Philip said, what time? I'm thinking about 6 p.m. my time. It's now 9:55 a.m. That's 6 p.m. Perth time, which is GMT plus 8. And this is what fucks my head, GMT plus 8, but we're 7 hours ahead of the UK because they've got daylight saving. Also, yes, Room 101, we are aware of the argument for lockdown. That's not what we're talking about. So that's all good. We are most aware. So Philip, so it's probably. I'm not sure. Probably, yeah. We're 7 hours ahead of the UK, so it'll be like 11 a.m. UK time. I'll try and do a UK one. Anyway, I love you. Actually, it might be more like 10 a.m. UK, so then it's 5. I don't fucking know. 1 a.m. I'm also interviewing Benjamin Boyce on Friday for the verboten, so look into that as well. I'm going to go. I'll let you know the time. I'll schedule it. I'm useless with time zones. I can't fucking do them. It's amazing that I've run a business like internationally and stuff for so long and been able to book meetings. I'm so reliant on Google Calendar telling me the right time. I have no idea. Anyway, I'm going to go. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your precious life seconds. I love you. All that stuff. Bye. Bye. Oh, hang on. I'm going to do it again. You ready? Bye.